you're telling me I can get a talent like Boutte in the early second? Problem is, he's still catching passes from Marcus Mariota. What's going down, y'all? It's your boy Ray GQ here for the Draft Network, and I am excited as hell today because in this episode of Mock the Mock, we're taking a look at Joe Marino's Rookie Mock 2023 4.0 edition. And in this mock, we don't just get round one. Joe gave us 2 rounds to mock, so we can't waste any time. If you're new to the channel, new to the station, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, like the content, hit the alerts. That way, every time dope content drops over here on the YouTube channel, you get it right on your phone. You gotta look for it. It's right there on your phone for you. And make sure y'all comment below and let me know what you think about these picks, these landing spots. And for those of y'all that are tapping in for the first time, this is only the offensive position players, skill position players. We're looking at it from a fantasy football lens. So without further ado, I'm glad you tapped in. Let's strap in. Joe Marino 2023 Rookie Mock 4.0. Let's get it right now. All right, at the top of Joe's mock, Houston Texans. We know they need a quarterback, so they go with the best quarterback in this 2023 NFL draft class, Bryce Young from Alabama. Houston, I don't know what they're doing with the head coach, with the ownership group, but Bryce Young, his leadership, his ability to just make magic happen. I think this would be a great spot for Bryce Young. I think the best spot for a rookie quarterback is Detroit, but number 1 overall pick, Bryce Young, super flex formats, he'd be a top 3 pick. Good selection by Houston. We scroll down this mock, and the second quarterback off of the board, a little change here. Surprise, surprise. No CJ Stroud. It's the big Kentucky signal caller, Will Levis, going to the Carolina Panthers at 6. I don't know if Steve Wilks is going to end up being the head coach long-term in Carolina, but I know this. They ain't rolling in with Baker Mayfield or P.J. Walker or Sam Darnold next year. Will Levis, the tools, the traits, the size. I'm sure whatever coach selects him, they'll have a plan in place to make sure that he's brought along the right way. And for rookie draft purposes, this would make Will Levis in Superflex probably a top 5 pick with his size, with his talent, with his tools and his traits. Carolina Panthers select Will Levis at 6. We scroll down Joe's mock, and we get our third offensive player, skill position for fantasy purposes, off of the board to the Indianapolis Colts. And CJ Stroud, a little bit of a fall. We normally see Stroud up at 1, 2, not falling outside the top 10. Performance versus Michigan, I don't think it was that bad, but I have questions about his ability to be a dynamic game changer at the next level. I think in Indy, the pressure would not be on him as the top pick or the number 2 overall pick. I like some of the weapons that are in place. We saw Jelani Woods break out this past Monday, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, a dominant run game, and Jonathan Taylor. So I like the fit of CJ Stroud to the Indianapolis Colts at 14. At 15, air horn sounder, because the Atlanta Falcons make a splash and they go running back, a position I don't think they really need. But man, you get Arthur Smith, who had Derrick Henry back in Tennessee. You get him the most dynamic running back to enter the NFL in I don't know how many years in Bijan Robinson. I mean, I don't care where Bijan goes. He's going to be the 101 in all formats in rookie drafts. But this would be an outstanding fantasy pick. We would like a quarterback because we really don't want Marcus Mariota commanding the ship moving forward. But Bijan Robinson to Atlanta would be an awesome fit. He'd be a high pick. Bijan Robinson to the Falcons. We love it for fantasy purposes. We also would love the Los Angeles Chargers at 17, selecting Michael Mayer, the tight end from Notre Dame. No, there's a lot of talk. I've been saying it. I don't think he's quite Kyle Pitts level of prospect, but there's no doubt about it. He is the tight end 1 in this class. I'm not taking anybody else over Michael Mayer. He's plug and play from day 1. And if you play in tight end premium leagues, Michael Mayer paired with Justin Herbert should be a great fit for fantasy. And I think if this were his landing spot, he'd probably slot in as a top 6 dynasty tight end from day 1. Like the fit, like the pick, Michael Mayer, the Chargers. Let's get it. At 18, the New England Patriots get their man, Mac Jones, some help with arguably the top wide receiver in this class, Quentin Johnston out of TCU. Same thing remains with Quentin Johnston. I think a lot of fantasy gamers are going to have to remove the TCU bias or the negative bias from their head from Josh Doxson and Jalen Reagor and evaluate him as his own prospect. He's big, he's fast, he's athletic, probably the wide receiver 1 off of the board in the NFL. Quentin Johnston to New England would give Mac Jones a big downfield target. We know Mac likes to push the ball downfield, like the fit with the New England Patriots. And my wide receiver one, Jordan Addison, coming off the board at 19 overall in Joe's mock to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Russell Gage has been a colossal bust. He's done nothing this year. Mike Evans getting a little bit older, right? He's outstanding. Hall of Fame level of career for Mike Evans. Chris Godwin there. I just don't know what the quarterback situation's like. A lot of smoke around Tom Brady not being back in Tampa Bay. I don't know how true that is or not. But, I mean, an offense with Evans, with Addison, with Godwin, just seems like a headache for fantasy purposes. So don't love the fit of Jordan Addison to Tampa Bay. But, you know, first-round draft capital for a wide receiver, that would provide a value, probably push him down the rookie draft board, and I'll gobble up all the Addison I can get if I get him at a discount. Let's move down the mock a little bit and talk about this one. Absolutely love this pick, love this fit, love the culture, love the situation. Anthony Richardson to the New York Giants at 24. He would not be asked to start right away. You've got a good bridge-type quarterback in Daniel Jones already in place. The culture's changed with Brian Daboll. The Giants are 7-4 on the season. Again, I don't think you want Anthony Richardson taking snaps early in his NFL career. I'd argue to say that we look at Malik Willis and all his tools and traits. Anthony Richardson may be a little further behind as a passer developmentally than Malik Willis even was. So this would be a spot that you'd have to be patient with Anthony Richardson. It's not going to happen from day one. But with Daboll, with Saquon Barkley, you get the Giants some offensive wide receivers, some weapons, maybe in the second round. We'll see. I love this fit for Anthony Richardson, and I'm sure Giants fans would love it as well. Tennessee at 26 selects Jalin Hyatt, the wide receiver out of Tennessee, providing some speed down the field to pair with Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks really starting to come into form, showing why he was a first-round pick. You add Jalin Hyatt opposite of Burks, I think you've got a good tandem for Ryan Tannehill for the next couple of years. And that is it for round one. So there we go. We've got Jalin Hyatt to the Titans, Anthony Richardson to the Giants, Jordan Addison to the Bucks, Quentin Johnston to the Patriots, Michael Mayer to the Chargers, Bijan Robinson to the Falcons, CJ Stroud to the Colts. We also have Will Levis to the Panthers and Bryce Young to the Houston Texans. My favorite pick for fantasy purposes from round one, honestly, I was probably Michael Mayer to the Chargers. You get him with Justin Herbert in the tight end premium league. We've seen Gerald Everett do work. I think he would slot in and probably be Justin Herbert's #1 target. I could see Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes level of connection with those two. Probably my favorite pick for rookie draft purposes. Michael Mayer would be a slam dunk pick in rookie drafts. Now, let's dive into round two, and there are some notable names that we did not hear in round one that are going to come off the board in round two. And let's start that off with the Seattle Seahawks at 35, selecting Jackson Smith-Njigba, the wide receiver from Ohio State. No, it's a bit of a fall. A lot of people expecting him to go round one. Over here at TDN, we have our concerns about athleticism, his explosiveness. I think 35 is still great draft capital for JSN. We saw T. Higgins go top of the second round. Michael Pittman, top of the second round. So in Seattle, sort of a nice little get ready to replace Tyler Lockett, pair him with DK Metcalf, Geno Smith having Lockett, DK, Noah Fant at tight end, and then you add in JSN as a young receiver. This would actually be a great fit for JSN. And even as a second-round pick, he would still be a first-round pick in rookie drafts if he hits this landing spot of Seattle. The New Orleans Saints take most people's tight end 2, some people's tight end 1 off of the board in Darnell Washington out of Georgia. Big athletic tight end. Not overly productive, but we know a lot of times that fantasy success at the tight end position, there's no correlation on tight end production and fantasy success at tight end at the NFL level. I guess it's fine. I mean, I don't really feel any type of way about it. They don't seem to use the tight end, and maybe because they don't have one. But New Orleans takes Darnell Washington at 37. At 40, love this. Rashee Rice, wide receiver out of SMU, pairing him with Will Levis at 6'2", 200 pounds, 205 pounds. Rashee Rice, smooth operator, going to be a fast riser as we enter this draft process. At 42, just load it up. I mean, how many weapons can Trevor Lawrence have? You got Christian Kirk. They traded for Calvin Ridley, and now they select Josh Downs at 42, the wide receiver out of North Carolina. Big fan of Josh Downs. Right now, I currently have him right around that wide receiver 5 in the 2023 class for fantasy purposes. This would be a smash pick for Jacksonville. Just continuing to load up on playmakers for their young quarterback, doing it the right way. I love it. Now for a bombshell, because everyone's favorite running back, DeAndre Swift, looks like he might be getting replaced with potentially another DeAndre Swift level of running back. The Detroit Lions at 44 select JAHMYR GIBBS, running back out of Alabama. And man, would this cause panic and chaos in the fantasy community? And I am all for chaos. JAHMYR GIBBS, the Detroit Lions. I like the fit. It's a good offensive line. You got weapons on the outside. This would be a scary, scary offense to deal with. And do you notice? No quarterback for Detroit. Rolling another year with Jared Goff. I think they can get away with it. See what Goff can do next year. Bank on Caleb Williams or Drake May in 2024. The Atlanta Falcons at 47 go with my once wide receiver one, Kayshon Boutte. He's had a down year. At times, I believe Malik Neighbors has looked like the best wide receiver that LSU has, but Kayshon Boutte, still a talented weapon. I think this would provide a value. It'd be a late first, early second round pick, and if you're telling me I can get a talent like Boutte in the early second, problem is he's still catching passes from Marcus Mariota. So not good. Maybe they trade for Lamar Jackson. Maybe they go bring in a Jimmy Garoppolo, Drake London, Kayshon Boutte, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. Wow. What an offense. I'll be playing with them on Madden if this were to play out this way. We scroll down the mock. The Cincinnati Bengals select Tucker Kraft, the athletic tight end from San Diego State at 54. I think that'd be a nice fit. Don't know if he'd come in right away and be the guy, but he'd definitely have sort of the leeway and the ability to develop behind Hayden Hurst and become a usable tight end in that Joe Burrow-led offense. We've got the Giants. We talked about pairing some more wide receiver talent. They select Cedric Tillman, one of the top senior wide receivers in this 23 class from Tennessee. At 56, the Chicago Bears get Justin Fields a weapon with Iowa State wide receiver Xavier Hutchinson, big body wide receiver, using him. Fields, we know he's not the most accurate quarterback, so you get a big body out there, just get it in his zip code. Hutchinson catches everything. Not the best separator, but you get it in range, he's going to pull it down. Like that fit for Chicago at 56. Given their young quarterback weapons, I love it. And the final pick, the final couple of picks from round 2 from Joe, Detroit Lions. They go replace TJ Hawkinson with, I think when it's all said and done, he's going to be my tight end 2 in this class, Dalton Kincaid from Utah. We know it's not James Mitchell. We know it's not Brock Wright. Go get you another tight end. Dalton Kincaid, dynamic, athletic, would love the fit in Detroit. Detroit just loading up on that talent, getting ready for Caleb Williams, getting ready for Drake May. It's happening. Will it into existence. And finally, the final pick in round 2 for Joe, Sean Tucker, the running back out of Syracuse to Philadelphia. Miles Sanders expiring contract set to hit the market. Sean Tucker, he's explosive. He's dynamic. I think he would fit this offense well. I like Kendre Miller a little more than Sean Tucker. He's going to test well. He's fast. He can catch the ball. Even though Philly doesn't throw to the running back, it's okay. I think Eagles fans would like Sean Tucker there. I think the name of Sean Tucker sort of outweighs what he actually produced this year. I think Kendre Miller has been a better running back this year. I think Blake Corum has been a better running back this year than Sean Tucker. But the point is, Philadelphia is going to invest in a running back, and I'd much rather them take a running back at 64 opposed to pick 31, like we've seen in a lot of mocks. So there goes the second round of Joe's mock. Sean Tucker to Philadelphia, Dalton Kincaid to the Detroit Lions. We also have Xavier Hutchinson to the Bears, Cedric Tillman to the Giants, Tucker Kraft, tight end from South Dakota State to Cincinnati. We have Kayshon Boutte to the Atlanta Falcons, JAHMYR GIBBS to the Detroit Lions, Downs to the Jaguars, RASHEE Rice, wide receiver out of SMU to the Carolina Panthers, Darnell Washington, tight end from Georgia to the New Orleans Saints, and JSN, my favorite pick in the second round, to the Seattle Seahawks. Overall, great mock from Joe. If you want to read every pick, every selection, all 64, link is in the description. Tap into that. Let me know in the comments what was your favorite pick offensively from the fantasy perspective from Joe's mock. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe on your way out the building. But for Ray and the Draft Network, until next week, I'm out. Peace.